95% of our lives are run and created by our subconscious mind programming. Imagine if your subconscious mind is running many negative, disempowering, and self-sabotaging programs. How will that 95% of your life turn out to be? Would you like help to change your subconscious programming into something that works for you and set it to attract and create everything you desire? Join Tamara Oviatt in her show Metaprogramming and the Human Biocomputer here on Om Times, where she will connect to the source energy and change your subconscious programming by deleting your negative belief systems. Tamara is the founder of Sacred Activations, a subconscious metaprogramming modality that rewires your brain and shifts hundreds of your belief systems so you can break away from lack, pain, and suffering and take control of what you want to create in your life. Tamara has helped hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, and she is here to help you too. It's not about fighting what you don't want. It's about creating what you do want. And the only way to do that is to change and upgrade your subconscious programming. Let Tamara help you create magic in your world. Tune in every week at Metaprogramming and the Human Biocomputer.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Om Times. I'm Ella Isakov, one of the practitioners and also the teachers. And first and foremost, I just want to recognize Tamara, the creator, the one that supports us and lifts us up and just does everything for this community. And Deb's the assistant that's helping out right now. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that Tamara does have the Master's Practitioner training happening this weekend. And then I believe even Mastering the Masters is coming on after that. And if you're not sure what Mastering the Masters is, it's a really great way to upgrade yourself. So a lot of brand new sacred activations to really upgrade you and expand you. And I mean, isn't that why we're here? While we're all here, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend this weekend because I'm actually holding the day 3 and day 4 of the medical intuitive training under sacred activations. Then the following weekend, it's my level 1 sacred activations training that I'm teaching for the 4th time. So I'm really sad to miss the lives for that. But catch everything, even the webinars, everything is on tamaraovia.com. I also hold very popular webinars that are sacred activations. My next series of 6 starts in May. And I have a popular YouTube channel with an episode that goes live every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time called Inside Healing, where you get insight and healing with sacred activations on a different theme. So that's kind of how I share this work in different ways and bring other practitioners into the world. And it's always such an honor because this work changed my life, and I'm sure it's changed people that are returnees, or if you're new to sacred activations, just wait. I don't like to really honor specific days. I believe that, we had Family Day the other day. I believe every day is the day to be attentive to your family and your loved ones. We had Love Day on the 14th. I believe that every day is a day to cultivate love and compassion, first and foremost for yourself. But, this is Love Month, I guess, in many parts of the world. So why not? So now today's all about love, heart opening, heart expanding. And I heard this quote once: love is the answer, love is the key. And no truer words have been spoken. You're going to hear some facts, and some of the things may seem a little dark or maybe a little bit challenging to hear. And everything that I say in class, in sessions, anywhere, is just to bring awareness. And the first step to change is awareness. Without awareness, we're just going to be living in our subconscious mind amidst the flurry, the cloud of all the fear and the anger and the resentment, and you name it. So you're going to hear some facts and some truths about love and heartbreak, and also, the complexities of the human spirit. I always say that it's not easy being human. And, if I didn't take the plunge in 2018, well, I think I was brought kicking and screaming if I didn't take the time to open up my heart, I wouldn't even be where I am. I wouldn't be as expansive. I wouldn't be open up above. And you'll hear about why opening up the heart is important for your intuition, to move into 5D, to spiritual expand. It's all starts with the matters of the heart. Love is the answer. Love is the key. That's going to be your motto for life. Feel free to write it down and put it on your bathroom window. Although there might be some others, probably to do with self-love. So matters of the heart can run super deep, lifetimes deep, in fact. So when lifetimes deep of heartbreak and betrayal, but here's what people don't realize. The relationship issues that you're having, everything is a lesson. Everything is an opportunity to evolve. And until we see that, until we put the ego out of the way, we're not going to learn those lessons. And guess what? We're going to be learning them again in the next lifetime. Why am I bringing this up? Oftentimes the love stuff has to do with relationships, intimate, family, you name it. Oftentimes, things that are causing friction or havoc or complexities in a relationship, you are in this lifetime for a reason. They are triggering you now for a reason. You have unfinished karma with this person. So if we listen to our triggers instead of react to them, then we would start to evolve and grow. And that is when we start to resolve these, that's when we start to uncrumble the crusty ceramic off our heart, or the armor, the protection. A lot of times the heart issues, the heart of the matter is with other people. For the obvious reasons is that, love, we need people. We need people. We can't just be on our own. And love is complex and relationships are complex. So we close the cart when we don't want to face it. Could be in past lifetime, could be this lifetime, could be continuing from all these lifetimes. We create a shield, we create an armor, because we don't want any more pain. We can't handle, we think we're protecting ourselves from the pain. Really what we're doing is we're hiding, but we're going to get to that. So these shackles and armor are such powerful forms of protection from opening you up to others. But what we don't realize, it not only does it keep you from opening up to yourself, but actually even keeps you from opening up to the world and striving. And because if your heart is not open, how can your heart lead? Ooh, I just made that up. How can you lead from the heart? Heart-led life. So we think we're protecting from others, but what we're doing is we're also protecting our deep parts, which is actually keeping us from showing our deep parts. So the heart needs to open, or at least begin to be open, to start to shed, to start to expand. Otherwise, it's not just your heart that's kept in the shackles, it's your whole spirit, it's your whole being. It's kind of fascinating. It's not, it seems like the matters of the heart, but it's actually a matter of your whole life. So all our parts, when we don't take time to face all of our parts, our pain, our suffering, our heartbreak, we don't see ourselves, so then we don't accept ourselves, and we hide, and we allow the fear. And if we allow the fear to take over, then we can't feel joy. And I don't know if you know, have you heard this quote? Joy is love expressed. So it's love, then joy. So to feel true joy, you need to have an open heart. Otherwise, it's just like, happiness of the moment, if you're laughing, but it's not true joy. Then, so it's love, joy, then bliss. And that is enlightenment, expansion. That's true contentment, like peace in most heart-opening, body-opening way is bliss. So joy is love expressed. I love that quote when I heard it way back. So 3 things about heart and pain that keep the heart closed that I think that you might find even a little bit enlightening or interesting. So we like to hold on to our pain, don't we? And we direct it towards someone, because the ego always keeps us in the illusion that it's outside of us, always blaming something, someone, some system, somewhere, them, not me. Actually taking ownership for your own healing and taking ownership for the pain that's inside you is actually also important when we stop blaming everybody. And it's a survival mechanism for not looking within. So it's a survival mechanism of staying away from the deep pain that's eating you up on the inside most literally eating you up on the inside. If you've taken the medical intuitive training, I mean, anyway, I want to stay on topic. Um, So here's where I want to go with this. Often trauma that we carry from childhood brings on shame, because when we're children, we don't understand the suffering. So it moves us to think that we did something, that we are bad. And I love the Tamra, when I was watching some of the replays when I was preparing for the medical intuitive, she says that, one of the most important things to do is to heal your childhood trauma with any kind of ailment. And to open up the heart, you need to heal the childhood trauma. Here's what I want to say. The first thing that's keeping your heart closed. Shame is the lowest vibration emotion. Highest vibration emotion is enlightenment. Grief, anger, sadness, resentment, competition, all of that is low vibration. And the higher vibration of love, joy, expansion, peace, all of that is the high vibration. When we stay in shame and low vibration emotions, it actually doesn't just close up the heart, it actually closes off our body. It brings the low vibration of the emotions and the density of that into our physical being. So not only are we closed off in our heart, but the emotions are also in your body, in your organs. If those of you that took the medical intuitive training or are teachers, and that influences how you show up in the world, how you love. How can you possibly love if you're full of anger and shame and resentment? So childhood trauma is super, super important to heal. And then if you want to think about the past life stuff, well, even the family that you even the family that you're born into is karmic. So anything that you're healing in this lifetime is probably, well, that's not true. You're usually given around 3 or 4 things to kind of your big lessons. Imagine if they brought all the lessons from all the previous lifetimes into this lifetime, we'd be overwhelmed. We would not be able to function. So for the most part, let's just say that karmically, the lessons are being brought into the kind of family that you're born into, the circumstances, the experiences you have. A lot of time, the challenges are lessons to help us engage in life and to heal and to evolve. But we haven't really been given the tools because of generational trauma that keeps, and so on, of all the hearts closed and not able to love fully or even understanding love because the generation before. So first and foremost is the childhood trauma to heal. And, oh, I love this part. So I don't know if you know Gabor Mate. I did bring him up in the previous sessions. So he's a trauma specialist, and I absolutely adore him. He's so smart, so wise, so humble. And when we're children, this is how our heart stays closed as we move into adults as well. When we're children and our heart's been closed off because of the traumas and the abuse, whatever it is, neglect is abuse in the home. When we stop being vulnerable because our heart is closed, this is, I don't know, when I first heard this, I had the little emoji of the brain explosion. We stop growing. If you need to show vulnerability as a child to continue to grow and evolve, to grow as in not just physical growth, but in the developmental growth as we as humans need for a healthy, functioning, loving human being. So vulnerability is the key. Well, guess what? When we're not being vulnerable because of shame or hiding or protecting our heart, we're not growing in that way. That made so much sense when it came to me. That's why we have, parents or whatever that are closed, that are not able to show affection, that are distant, that are kind of have this wall. We all know them. But it's so interesting as you evolve in your spiritual journey, you'll understand them. You'll understand them. You'll see them in a new light as someone that's also in pain. Oh, actually, they don't even realize they're in pain. They've pushed it down so much, they don't even realize. So they're kind of unaware. So then you work on acceptance. You work on accepting them as they are. I love that. So not that, well, yeah, acceptance is super important. But when we close off our heart, we're also protecting from ourselves. And when we're hiding parts of ourselves, we're not showing up fully for life. And when we are not showing all parts of our being, then when we are hiding, oh my God, I think that is actually the greatest heartbreak of the world. And I know I used to hide as well. So I see the difference. Sometimes I look at myself back then, it's like, whoa, like, and it's such a shame to be, it's such a privilege to be in the human form. We're like, our whole goal is freedom, and love. That's our whole lesson in this lifetime as a human, to be incarnated into a human form is a huge, huge privilege. And we spend lifetimes in fear of feeling the heart, of facing the heart, of facing ourselves, of facing our pain. So then, of course, how can we face life? So how can we love others? If our heart is closed towards ourselves, how can we possibly love others? Everything is a reflection of what we feel inside, or who we are inside. Everything. And then, we call so many things love. And sometimes love is just thrown around. And I guess there are different forms of love for sure. But I don't know, since my heart opened, I don't use that word. I use it very, very purposely. Now, the other thing that kind of gets in our way, and you will also find this interesting, especially if you've been part of this world and Tama's world, because she always talks about the 3D world, and it's the video game and how much do we plug into it. So I don't know if you know, but the astral subtle body, it's your emotional and your mental. It holds your emotions and your mental, but of the collective, right above the 3D, there's a collective dark cloud of the astral cloud of fear, anger, trauma, shame. So how do we unplug from this dark cloud, of this dark weight, to start to find our way back to our heart, to first find it, then clear it, then expand it, then fill it? That's the recipe, if you want to write that down. How you get there can actually be different ways, different avenues. I'll tell you a few of mine when I give the suggestions. It's exactly what I did. So I will share what I did as well. Because, a lot of, by the way, being intuitive is a survival response, by the way. Because when you were young, you were extra sensitive. You kind of knew when they walked through the door, without them saying anything, without any kind of extreme action, like physical action, you sensed. So it's a survival mechanism that you learned as a child. No child should have to, which means that you didn't feel safe, by the way. So being safe in the world, being safe in yourself. Gosh, we should do a 5-hour thing on love alone, because I'm giving you little drops of each part, but each part I could probably speak another hour. That's how invaluable it is. Well, no, that's how important it is, for, even if you don't fully identify with what I'm saying, for you to understand, especially if you're a practitioner or a healer, it's just going to help you also in your world with your practitioners. So how do we unplug from this collective? I grew up in a foster home, and my foster mother, she's loving, but I've accepted her as she is. She's got, everybody's able to. Oh, have you heard this quote? We accept the love we think we deserve. So when you see the people that are closed or really protective, we think, oh my God, they don't love me. It's always about us, isn't it? It's always our ego takes over. But guess what? They're probably not loving themselves. They're probably loathing themselves. Especially when you get caught up in the physical world and how you look. She'll never have a photo taken because she doesn't think she's attractive, because she's gained weight. Everything is, the 3D lives so densely into the physical world that we don't see that the more important parts are the heart, your compassion, how you live, how you are with others. And that's the second plight of the world. I'll probably say it for all of these things. So how do we unplug from the collective fears of the pains and suffering, and know that love is possible for us, and move out of the darkness and find our light? It is possible. I know. I think you guys do too. This is the other part that is really, really, really important as a healer. Those of you, on my inside healing, sometimes I get people asking me for a request to do a theme, because I take requests for themes on trauma. And, oh, can you do a theme on childhood trauma healing? Can you do it? And, I'm very, very apprehensive to do a theme of that on a show, not in my one-on-one. My one-on-one, that's, no matter what they come to me for, it's often we're clearing. First, we have to unpack all of that stuff, and then we're going to get to your, your ailment or whatnot, or anxiety. All right, here we go. Please listen. So, especially if we've had this pain and closed our heart for our whole life, maybe, probably accumulative from lifetimes, it becomes our identity. It's what we see ourselves as. We don't even know, but it becomes our subconscious belief system. So remember, so our subconscious mind, it's like Pac-Man, it just eats everything up. And then it becomes our belief system into who we think we are. So it becomes our identity. We think we're a bad person, shame. We hold resentment. We see people and we don't trust them. We resent them. We're competitive against them. We judge them. When we start to clear, which we'll do today with three powerful sacred activations. When we clear some of the trauma and the emotional stuff that's being held in there, the next morning, or even for the next couple of days, it could be a whole new level of grief is what I call it. So that's my name for it, a whole new level of grief. And sometimes I remember one time my client said, I woke up and I just had this panic attack. Like I felt panicky and I had to breathe, because like getting to know yourself all over again, which is why the dark night of the soul is like you're surrendering, because like you have no idea, like you're slowly transforming from the caterpillar to the butterfly. But it's grieving who you were. Yes, even the parts that you didn't like it, but they served their purpose. They served their lesson. They helped protect you. And that's important to understand, not to judge how you were or the things that you did. Everything, we could only behave as much as the trauma we're holding in or not holding in our parts. I hope what I just said made sense. So please reach out, because I'm saying some things today that might be new. So, and I'm going briefly, but it's really as important that you understand that as you evolve and grow, just know that how you were, what you did your best with what you knew at the time. And have you ever heard that quote? When you know better, you do better. Because I know I've made mistakes. I won't even get into the mistakes I did in my 20s and 30s, early 30s. And it took me a while to not feel guilt. Like there was a lot of guilt that was really hard. And you don't always have to go back to the person to say sorry unless you feel like you need to. It really is, most importantly, about you tending to you and opening up your heart. Okay. Those are the points. Now, why is opening up your heart so important? I already mentioned briefly. First of all, you guys know about the 7 chakras. Maybe you already know about the 13, but there's actually even more. The heart chakra is the gateway to the higher chakras. So if you're an intuitive and you see your intuition is open, you're connected, yeah, you still could be. But unless your heart is open, you cannot fully expand into the higher realms, higher chakras. The heart chakra is the gateway to opening up the throat, for one, which is it's also your big key to manifestation is here. It's your divine will. And how can you possibly stand up for yourself and step out and take inspired action if you're closed here? And then the third eye, I think I was still intuitive, even when my heart was closed. So just not fully. So the way you expand is beyond the beyond. The second reason why it's so important to open up your heart is that, well, 3D is the physical, 5D is love, 3D is fear and living really in the physical world. Everything's physical. The 5D is really towards love. 4D as well. So in order to expand into the, I like to call the 3D, 5D, the pockets of light. In order to expand to the bigger pocket of light, you need to open up the heart. Even if you just start to, just a little open until you feel safe. This is why I always say, make sure the nervous system goes with you. I teach a little yoga. I even say it with in there. And you need to feel safe. So don't rush this journey. Don't rush it. Why? So much wisdom is gained. Do you think if I didn't take me the 8 years to fully heal, I wouldn't have had all this wisdom to share with my students and my clients? So all these challenges are helping you also understand the human complexity, diversity. So take it as wisdom. And my quote, you can steal it. Ditch the suffering, keep the wisdom. And by the way, to tap into your deep wisdom, it's the heart. We think of the heart as compassion, forgiveness, kindness, love, but it's also wisdom. The matters of the heart, when your heart is open, you have so much wisdom and understanding of the human spirit. Because I'd say more than 9% of the people are living their life, lifetime after lifetime, with a closed heart. Although I hope it's changing. And we are the answer, we are the key. So the heart is considered the seat of the soul. The place where one's true essence and truth reside. So living in your truth, you do need an open heart. Opening up the heart is the key to spiritual expansion, which I mentioned about the 5D and higher consciousness, 5D. Also working up to your, even you know that your soul starts here, this chakra, then your spirit chakra, then your universal chakra, then your galactic chakra, then your divine gateway chakra. Expanding intuition, gain clarity to open to spiritual growth and wisdom, as I just said. So opening up the heart is not easy. It's challenging to move out. It's challenging to move out of what happened to us. We get so attached to what happened to us, and that's why we can't forgive and we hold resentment. We just can't let go that this happened to us. That's also about feeling like knowing that the life is always working for you, that you're always supported. So the heart is the symbol of love, compassion, forgiveness, spiritual connection. And also shift your whole life around to an aligned life. Because when your heart opens, you'll make drastic changes and people are going to think, what? How is she doing that? How is she taking all these risks? You just won't have a choice. Once your heart is open, you see clearer. The fear isn't controlling you as much. It can still be, fear will still be there. Just maybe you have a different relationship with fear. I think that's what's better to say. You'll take your power back. You're no longer the victim. Ooh, I'm not running that activation. Today, activations are really for emotions and heart. Although victimizer is a great sacred activation for that. Take your power back, take your life back, nurture the wisdom, aligned living, aligned relationships. And yeah, your relationships will shift for sure. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go through how to heal the heart. I'm going to say this really quickly. So if you want to take notes, you can, because this is what helped me as well. First, of course, heart meditations. Anytime you sit with and really tune into your love and your compassion. Also, I also believe that being of service is huge. I did that. It's a bit of a longer story, so I won't go into it, but I did go to Haiti and I helped out there because I kind of got tired of sitting in my wallow of pain. So it's like, enough is enough, Ella. So somehow I had the will, so I did that. EMDR. EMDR is therapy, but I really recommend, I know other intuitives that have done it, and it really is great to tend to any of the traumas from the childhood, actually, even from when you were in the womb. Vipassana meditation. I did a bunch of that when I first started my journey. It helps to clear emotions. So Vipassana meditation, they're all over the world. They're free by donation. And what you do is you sit, you do go for 10 days. In fact, the beginner is 10 days. And there's no talking at all. And you basically observe your sensations of the body, the emotions of the heart, the thoughts of the mind, and you observe without needing anything to be different. So it's really is about cultivating witnessing or really the non-dual state. It's kind of observing things as they are without needing anything to be any different. And that's how I released a lot of my anger. I remember people used to say, day 3 is the hardest day. Oh my God, day 6, I thought I was going to kill someone. I didn't. That's when a lot of anger poured out. But I did it twice. I served once. They're all over the world, free, because I did not have money then. So it's by donation too. I also want to give some shout out to talk therapy, because when we carry things in our mind, when we overthink, it's going to be really hard to clear it from the body. So allowing some of this to drain through talking is actually, I do recommend that from some people that are quite deep in their mind and in their head. Yes, there are sacred activations for this as well, but I wanted to plug that in because talk therapy does help. I didn't really go for that myself. I had an intuitive therapist for a bit, but I do encourage someone where you can talk. Then this is where sacred activations come in. I'm going to be finishing this in 1 minute. Sacred activations clear thousands of limiting belief systems and emotions from organs and cleanse that will help you make the way. So energy healing is a powerful, powerful source. It helps you on a cellular level, your DNA, where we bring forth our ancestral traumas into this lifetime. So sacred activations is really huge and powerful. And the more powerful the sacred activations, the longer time it will take to integrate. Sometimes even 6 months to finish integrating some of the activations. And the last thing I want to give a plug for is gratitude. Having a gratitude practice where you write 3 things you're grateful for every single day. They could be the mundane things, just like, oh my goodness, the sun ray on my face, or, coffee date with my friend. It doesn't need to be a big thing. We tend to kind of ignore the little things when it's the accumulation of all the little things that bring the fruitful, filling the heart, love into it. So gratitude. I think I'll leave that for the information, because I think that was a lot. We'll take a little break and then we'll get into the healing. And I got a little surprise for the healing as well.
Om Times TV. Do you want to go deeper into sacred activations, which is a subconscious metaprogramming process? Tamara Oviatt is inviting you to visit her website at tamaraoviatt.com to sign up and get lifetime access to 3 free activations that you can listen to anytime you want or as often as you need. If you like what Tamara does and like to incorporate sacred activations into your life, she also offers live webinars, masterclasses, and practitioners training to further support your healing, manifestations, and expansion. There are hundreds of activations on her website that address different aspects of your life: money, health, relationships, intuitive abilities, and more. Head over to her website at tamaraoviatt.com and experience the magic of sacred activations. Thank you for listening. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse, walk a mile in my shoes.
Let's get seated or lying down, and let's begin the heart opening section. Take a few expansive breaths and just let every exhale bring you further into your body. And on the next exhale, just make your way down to the heart of Mother Earth, where if you allow yourself to be held by the Divine Mother, and from that place of being held, allow yourself to give yourself full permission to receive and know that you are worthy, and then know that you are safe. All right, here we go. Starting to run Christ consciousness awareness sacred activation. Really is the first love one to expand you in love, accept to receive. Release of vows, contracts, pacts, or blessings even, of heartbreak and betrayal. Heartstrings, accept to receive. So on our energetic heart, there are actually, on our heart chakra, there are actual energetic heartstrings. And when we've experienced any kind of heartbreak or betrayal, these heartstrings are broken. So we are repairing the heartstrings. Accept to receive. Unmasked emotions opens your vibration to love, joy, and happiness, which can only happen when we start to release the suppressed and repressed emotions. You know, depression is often repressed sadness, anger. Depression is often repressed anger. So we're releasing those low vibration emotions to allow the higher vibration emotions to fill. There's a lot of anger being flowing out and sadness second. Dancing Heart, sacred activation. This one is very rarely run, and I think very useful to run it at times. When the heart has been in shackles and in a constricted space for a long time, like lifetimes, it's finally given space to be free and to move and to dance. So hence the dancing heart. Accept to receive. Set your heart free so it can dance and love and stop fearing any kind of repercussions to expressing that love in whatever way you express it. Mother Mary. So Mother Mary is kind of the next one next to Christ consciousness, and it's the one where compassion for others, seeing others as divine beings. Yes, even the ones that we don't always understand. I'm going to stack the next two, so I might be quiet for a few minutes. I'm going to stack forgiveness and self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is the most important, but also forgiving others, because that's a big way to unlock the metal bars from around your heart. And that's when it will really start to dance and jump and all that stuff. And we want our heart to do that. We want our heart to feel free and expansive. Because when our heart feels free and expansive, you will feel free and expansive as a person, as a whole being. So here we go. I'm stacking that now. Loving expression, running it now, accept to receive. Connecting to heart and receiving every part of you, the beautiful, the ugly, the powerful, the weak, the brilliant, the dim, all parts of you, basically the dark and the light parts of it, which when we accept both the dark and the light, then we shine even brighter. So accepting every part that you love and every part that you hate or dislike. Loving expression. Oh, sippy. Why is self-acceptance so hard? I think even I also have to have practice for this, because how do we learn to appreciate our flaws, our darkness, our shadows? This next activation will help. It's called unconditional love, reconnection. Accept to receive. Unconditional love. So this connects you to the unconditional love grid system. So the 5D, kind of like the flower of life, which connects you to the love of the 5D, which is Christ consciousness. But this is the love grid system around the planet. So right now the love grid system is like the size of a pea. This is Tamara's explanation. With fear and suffering. And this brings the grid of love. This activation is vibration of unconditional love. Do not doubt that when you expand in love, that you are influencing so many people around you, like so many. Like you're probably a whole city. Okay, maybe your neighborhood. Sending out positive intention of unconditional love for all. It's called unconditional love, reconnection. Okay. I'm gonna stack the next. Yeah, so I'm gonna stack the next two. So I'll be a little quiet for just 2 minutes. 13 petals of the heart. In short, the general 3D world does have their 6 petals, lotus petals, that happened not long ago. So this completes the 13 petals for you around the heart, and diamond heart, which expands your light. Light and love, yeah, expands your heart, love, and also expands your light. So accept to receive. These are 2 very powerful that I'm stacking, but here we are. I'm actually also going to run nervous system upgrade, which, by the way, if you're a practitioner, always a good idea to plug that in. It will help with the integration of the energies. So 13 petals of the heart. Diamond heart. Oh, you guys are, yeah, you're very open to it. Wow, it's like you're glaring back at me with your diamond hearts. It's beautiful. A nervous system upgrade. And I'll run in Godspeed as well. May all these sacred activations land with ease and grace. And move to clear through all timelines, cells, genetics, DNA, parallel time, crunching timelines, parallel lives, and genetics. Just bring yourself down to the heart of Mother Earth. So I'm going to do esoteric acupuncture with these 3 points that kind of make, actually, it makes the exact shape, of my diamond. This will be the crown of your head. This will be the other point will be kind of here in this palm, part of the palm, or the hand. And then this will be this part of the hand. And then, oh, yeah. And then the middle part will be just above the sternum. And then they will join. So it literally is like this shape. And then it will even come out. It will expand forward. And it's very heart opening and expanding, and also protection. Not protecting your heart, but just protection for you. All right. And I'm going to make it into a rose quartz, which is the gemstone of love. So you can accept to receive, and you may feel the points. I'll talk you through the points. There's just 4 points. Here we go. Just breathe expansively. You can stay in Mother Earth. You can go into your heart, actually, if you want to accept this in your heart. And this will stay on you till it's ready to dissolve, even beyond our hour together. So here we go. I'm putting the first point right at the crown of your head, and it's rose quartz, and I'm putting it right in. Then I'm going down to the right side first, and kind of between the index finger and the thumb. And I'm going to the left, inside the palm, index finger and thumb, with the rose quartz acupuncture. And then the fourth spot is just kind of in your sternum. And I'm just putting there. You may feel this. And now it's going to look like pinkish thread. Going to join the crown to the right hand, the right hand to the left hand. And then to the heart, but then that other line is, they're all going to join. And then just imagine that it's coming out of you from the front into a point. It's called like a sacred geometry. And filling that whole space with rose quartz. Notice the lightness, notice the love. And now we'll dissolve when it's ready to. We can just leave it. Just taking 5 expansive breaths, feeling this in our being. In our pranic body, in our etheric body. This will also expand your intuition, bring you up to a higher consciousness. But I chose it for the heart opening and the protection. And you may open up your eyes. What a pleasure to be on Times once again. If you have any questions or feedback, you can always reach out to me or Tamara. All her webinars and trainings are on her website and tamarovia.com. My website is lisakov.com, just my name. You're not alone. You're always supported. And when we continue to open up our heart, we are helping all the people that don't feel supported or held know that they too can open up their heart and expand in love. Right? Because love is the answer. Love is the key. Bye for now.